Hey guys, Jason with CV Customs. We're doing something different. So a while back, I got my hands on this. The customer is actually my cousin or my wife's cousin, depending on how you guys think about all that stuff, but cousin nonetheless. She wants this. It's a vintage fan trailer. Not 100% sure of the year, but she wants it modernized while keeping as much of the vintage look and aesthetic as we can. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, if you watch my videos, you know that a while back I broke a phone and lost a bunch of footage. So there's a few things on this trailer that we've already done that we don't have any footage of because it was on the phone that got broke. So it's gone. I'll show you what we did, show you what we're gonna do, and we'll move on. It's a really neat trailer. What I do know about the trailer is that it's one of the first trailers that had an actual bathroom in the trailer. And that's why she likes it so much, and that's why we're going to make it a really neat trailer when it's all said and done. So, let's take a look at it. We'll go over what we're going to do, and then the next videos will actually be the project. So right now I'm just going to kind of walk you through the trailer and show you what we're going to do to make it a modern functioning trailer that looks like that. Okay, we're walking. I'm going to show you right off the bat. One of the first things we're going to do is the step. Now, when they put these steps on, I'll show you guys, they actually tied it to the floor. So we're going to repair that. We're going to attach it to the frame instead of having those carriage bolts that just go through the floor. So we're going to repair. We'll do the same thing to the other side because it's just a matter of time before that comes through. We'll come out with a gusset, tie it to the frame. It'll be nice and strong. There's nothing wrong with the step itself. It's just the way it was anchored. Now, the other thing we're going to do is pull the caps and wheel bearings and repack and inspect and change the wheel seal and make this thing a functioning trailer, right? So we're going to do the lights, we're going to do all that fun stuff. Also, while we have this thing up on stands, we're going to jack the entire trailer up. We're also, let me get under here. See, this trailer, because it has a bathroom, what it doesn't have is a gray tank. So what we're going to do is add a gray tank. It's got a black tank. I'm not 100% sure the gallonage. I think it was like 5 or 7 gallons. Our gray tank that we're installing is like 11, I believe. So this is not going to be a long-term stay, but it will definitely last a night or two depending on how you use things. So we're going to add a gray tank, get the plumbing right, and we'll put the other valve. We'll make it just like a regular RV. Ugh. Okay, let me get up. So you see there's a string there holding the door, so we're going to go ahead and just move the string and open the door here. And we'll walk in. Okay, with that open, the owner of this trailer has already started doing some work. So there are different things. This is the closet right here as you walk in the door. You see you got all kinds of different drawers here. This trailer actually has a lot of storage. And then we'll close that, and we move around, you see the bathroom. Now, it is a wet bath, so the toilet does actually just sit right in the shower, which is completely normal for this era of trailer. And that all functions fine, I believe. We're going to test all that stuff. You see, it's got the sink and everything here, so let's just roll on out. We'll close this guy. Now, we already installed the refrigerator. I'm going to back up so you can kind of see it. Now, the trim that was on the other one was some really shady looking stainless. We're going to put some nice trim and tie it in. But you can also see that with the new white refrigerator, that stove might look really good with a nice gloss white if everything functions properly. We got to fix the propane system before we can even check that. So we'll get to that as we go. Now, the other thing we got installed was our AC unit. We took out the overhead vent. Let me get to the other side so you can kind of see how this looks. So we took out the overhead vent and we installed the unit. Should function very well. Still have to put the trim back up so that all looks fine. Not 100% sure the color she's going to go with. This may be exactly what she wants. And we'll leave it at that. Now, she did do... This is actually pretty cool. This decoupage table. This is just something she's already got done. Get this off. So that's pretty neat. And then obviously that goes to a bed. Right up here, these are all the parts that we've already ordered. So our gray tank, our new fresh water tank, our new pump, because we're gonna redo the plumbing so that it functions like a modern RV. So I'd have a 12-volt pump. This one didn't. This tank actually used air pressure. So you would fill up your tank and then you would put air to the tank, and I can show you where that is when we walk outside right now. But so those are all of our parts. Show you right now this thing. So right here where you put your fresh water in, there's a Schroeder valve, and you would fill your tank and then add air to your tank to give you water pressure, which is a neat idea, but we're not going to do that. So because again, we're making it modern. We're also going to, as we come around here, put modern tanks. I'm sure she'll end up painting the tanks to match and all that stuff. We're going to replace the regulator. I like to put 2 regulators, one for each tank. If you ever have a regulator fail, you can switch. There's different options. It just makes it nice. But that's the way we're going to do it. This design shares one common regulator, and you just use one tank or the other. We're not going to mess with that. So we'll replace that. We're also going to add a 12-volt battery. I think this was where they did have a battery, but we're going to put a normal sized RV battery. May have to move it up into this area, but we'll do that. Again, we'll redo our trailer plugs. We'll make this all function right. So this is the back side here. So you can kind of see now right here, we did have to break into the lock. And of course it doesn't want to open. There we go. So you can see this is where we got our power, and that's not hooked up yet for the AC, but let's see if I can show you. It's way up there. But basically we ran right up into that corner. Well, that's the gas line to bring the 110 all the way over. Now the other thing we did that we've been doing is there was a lot of rodent damage. You can see on the floor. Now we did reinforce everything. These open wires just haven't been reconnected. This is a 12-volt supply, but we don't have battery power yet, so this is nothing to worry about. But there was a lot of rodents, and they got in a bunch of different places. So right up top, right there, there's a vent, and there's no netting or anything to keep rodents out. There's also, looks like somebody right here tried to make a netting to stop it. This is for the exhaust fan for the range over the stove. And then right here, this is for the heater for the unit, and there's no kind of netting or anything to keep rodents out. So there was some rodent damage we got to deal with. Now around back here, you can see the back end. On the back end, we're going to do a few different things with the breaker box. So because we're adding an AC unit, we're probably going to put a modern breaker box. That thing is very old. This is a 110 system, so it's going to be on a 35 amp system instead of the 50 amp for the 220. Once we get the parts that we have right now on, there's a good chance that we're going to end up extending the bumper to add a generator or something like that. The generator, inverter, all those things to make this a modern trailer. So that's the overview, guys. Like I said, we're going to start with jumping under this thing and getting the axles right, the step right, the lights, and we'll go from there. So hopefully this thing turns out good enough. You can see the AC unit up top. Hopefully it all works out right. This is the first time. Luckily, when you have family that asks you to do things, they trust you enough to get the first shot at something. So our first trailer, guys. See how it comes out.